Welcome to Anand Abhishek Twin Brothers. And before I start with the session today, let's begin with the one shairi. And the shairi is सनम तराशा है हमने बड़ी मोहब्बत से सनम तराशा है हमने बड़ी मोहब्बत से ये वो नहीं है जिसे भूल जाया जाता है. So what I'm trying to say that sanam does mean that English communication. I've been talking about English communication for past several days, week, and now it is month. And I believe and I request you guys that you're not forgetting it. It is not something which you should forget. English communication is something which you should imbibe in your heart, in your speaking, and that should reflect from your personality. Right? So, today I want to talk about some basic steps of English communication, and then I will also talk about the two remaining tenses. They are future perfect tense and future perfect continuous tense. So, talking about the basic steps of improving the communication skills are how you should begin basically for the best speaker. The first thing is that you should know that speak the more you can. There is no magic pill that you can consume and you will start speaking, but rather this is the self practice that you should do it always. The second suggestion will be that reflect on your conversation. In the past also, I have said that when you're talking to people, do not expect that they are going to respond to you in the same fashion. It means they are also going to talk you in English. If they are talking well and good, but if they are not talking you with English, if they are not talking with you in English, what you can do, you can talk to them, you can say as to what you want to say with them, and then if they're not understanding, tell them in Hindi, right? So they will also feel good, especially your near ones, your siblings, your parents, your sisters, your friends, your teachers, sometime your boss, colleagues, but do not expect much from the boss and colleague because they're always ready to pull your leg. So just be watchful around it. So reflect on your conversation. It means that English should reflect in your conversation, in your talks. The next suggestion will be listen and read. It is very important that when anyone is talking to you or when you are listening news, movies, or a group of people or an individual, when they are talking, listen them very patiently and understand as to what they are talking. And then try to, if you found something good over there, try to inherit those qualities into your conversation also. And then reading is another form of communication that also helps you to improve your skills, your speaking power, your pronunciation. My suggestion would be that when you're reading something, be a little loud out. And the words that you found that it is difficult to pronounce, better that you pronounce those words couple of times. For example, if you have difficulty in saying producer services, yeah, you might say broker, yeah, But what if you do not know it's another? You will have to say producer, right? And so on. If you do not know how to pronounce communication, yeah, how to say conversation, how to say continuous, and so on. Anytime if you are inconfident, if you feel that this may be right or wrong, better to use your available resources wherein you can go and check out its actual pronunciation. Maybe that you are pronouncing something exactly right, but if you're not confident, do not assume something. Go, you may check on Google or some other platforms too, that what would be its correct pronunciation. All right. So reading helps you a lot. Reading also helps you to develop the thoughts. And once, for example, if you're reading stories, that will help you to make you conversational. Because if you are reading a story, definitely you would like to tell those stories to some of your colleagues, some of your friends, some of your younger and elder ones. And when you are sharing those stories with anybody, I am sure you will not be using the books, right? You will be developing or you will be sharing your thoughts based upon your understanding that you got from reading, correct? So I would say that reading is also one of the aspect in the communication. The other piece will be prepare cheat sheet. When I say prepare cheat sheet, that means your own notes where you face problem. That could be related to any segment of grammar. That could be related to any segment of word bank, any segment of translation, tenses, or anything. So whatever that helps you to grow in the career. The career could be related to in your education, that could be in your job, that could be in your personal area also, in your personal interest also. Wherever, in order to grow in the career, communication plays a very vital role. So, the cheat sheet also helps you. The other aspect of learning communication skill is pick up the phone and talk in English. In the past also I have suggested many of you guys that when you are talking to your friends, your colleagues, start talking to them mostly in English. If they are beginner or if they are very effective speaker. If they are beginner, you can learn together. If they are a fluent speaker, again, they are going to share some best practices with you and you can learn there also. So do not think too much that whether you should talk in English or not. Better that eliminate this hesitation and start talking to as many as people you can in English only. This is one way of improving the communication skills. The other aspect of improving the communication skill is record your voice. Now, how does the recording of voice helps an individual? When you listen your own voice, you get to know that how are you sounding, whether you are sounding very weird or you are sounding very nice, or you are speaking good but there are some chances of improvement as well. So you will get to know the honest feedback from yourself. If you are hesitating a lot during the discussion, during the topic, during the call, during the presentation, you will realize it by yourself. And when something your heart's here, you are definitely going to work on it. So, record your voice, listen, decide as how are you speaking, how are you communicating, and then you can also seek some advice from the people in your surrounding. You can listen your voice to them and seek their feedback that, well, this is what I have recorded in my own voice. Could you please share my feedback? And likewise, I request all of you guys that if you are listening to me, please share my feedback also as how am I sounding to you? Do you promise this? Please, I request you that please share the feedback as how are you feeling during the conversation with me. If there are some chances of improvement, please leave that into the comment section. Or if there are any questions that you want to ask, please ask them also into the comment section. The next aspect of improving the communication skill is have fun. Now, have fun means do not just think a lot about it that communication is very difficult. You can learn while doing fun also. There are different ways to learn English communication during fun. For example, you can play truth and dare game with your siblings, with your colleagues. Yeah? You can play synonym games. You can play one word substitution game with your colleagues, with your peers. You can play Damshayas. Yeah, you can maybe that you can share some idioms and phrases and ask your colleagues to explain it. So in this fashion you'll have more opportunities to interact with people, make yourself happy, and you will also improve your communication skills. Yeah, I hope I am making sense to all of you guys. All right, so at this time, how to improve the communication skills are best practices for improving the communication skills is completed here. Now let's move on to another segment of grammar, because that is the key item that I've been talking about in the past few days and week, right? Please do not get bored, because this is going to be again a very interactive session. So as I did mention in the beginning of my speech or into the beginning of my session, that today we will learn about future perfect tense and future perfect continuous tense. Future perfect tense means that future perfect tense is used to express an action that a speaker assumes will have complete or occurred in the future. It gives a sense of completion of an action that will occur in the future. Yeah, the example, the patient will have recovered from the illness next week. They will have started a business in December. All right, so These are the basic examples of future perfect tense. Talking about its role, so it becomes important to mention that there are four sentences in every tense. They are affirmative, negative, interrogative, and negative. Likewise, in future perfect tense also, we have four sentences. Talking about the rule for future perfect tense, affirmative sentence, so the rule will be subject plus will have plus third form of the verb plus object plus other words. If I have to talk about the negative sentence, the not will be added between will have plus third form of the verb. So the rule will be subject plus will have plus not plus third form of the verb plus object plus other words. Talking about the interrogative, if I have to talk about the interrogative, so it will be will plus subject plus have plus third form of the verb plus object plus other words. And if I have to talk about interrogative and negative, the rule will be will plus subject plus not will plus subject plus have plus not plus third form of the verb plus object plus other words. All right. So this is all about the rules of the future perfect tense. Let us pick up some examples. For example, of the affirmative sentence, she will have bought a new laptop. वह नया लैपटॉप खरीद चुकी होगी. शी विल हैव बॉट अ न्यू लैपटॉप. वह नया लैपटॉप खरीद चुकी होगी. नाउ इफ आई हैव टू कन्वर्ट दिस इन नेगेटिव, मतलब वह लैपटॉप नहीं खरीद चुकी होगी. सो हाउ विल यू से दिस? शी विल नॉट हैव बॉट द लैपटॉप. और अगर मुझे यहाँ पे प्रश्न पूछना है कि क्या वह लैपटॉप खरीद चुकी होगी, will she have bought the laptop? And if I have to convert this into interrogative and negative, मतलब प्रश्न सूचक नकारात्मक वर्ग, then this will be will she not have bought a new laptop? Will she not have bought a new laptop? Yeah. Will she not have bought the laptop? Let us pick up some other examples. I will have gone to Delhi. I will have gone to Delhi in March. मतलब मैं मार्च में दिल्ली जा चुका हूँगा. I will have gone to Delhi in March. I will not have gone to Delhi in March. Or I will not have gone to Delhi in March. Talking about interrogative, will I have gone to Delhi in March? And will I have not gone to Delhi in March? And so on. Talking about the more examples related to interrogative. So, will she have made a plan for her studies? Will she have made a plan for her studies? Will they have started their journey? Will they have bought a new phone? And so on. So, likewise, you can also learn and you can also pick up real time examples from your life and use them into your daily conversation. All right? Okay. Now, talking about the future perfect continuous tense. Again, perfect continuous tense, it means that this is used to explore future action having a continued nature. Such actions are assumed to occur in future and to continue for some more or less specific time frame. Therefore, in this section or in this sentence, the time is given over there. That could be point of time and period of time. If it is point of time, be used since. Whereas if it talks about period of time, for example 3 hours, 4 hours, be used for it. Talking about the rules for future perfect and future perfect continuous tense. So as we had rules for present perfect continuous tense, likewise we also have similar rule for we also have similar rule for future perfect continuous tense, and they are again over here also we have four sentences. They are positive, negative, interrogative and negative sentence. Excuse me. So for affirmative sentence, which is also called out to be positive sentence, the rule will be subject plus will have been plus first form of the verb plus ing plus in sub for plus time. For negative sentence, it will be subject plus will not have been plus first form of the verb plus ing plus in sub for plus time. If we pick up some examples related to future perfect continuous tense, it could be he will have been writing translations since 8 a.m. He will have been writing translation since 8 a.m. She will have been singing song for 3 hours. Now, since 8 a.m. is point of time, this is very specific 8 a.m. Therefore, we have used since over here. But the other example, she will have been singing song for 3 hours. 3 hours is basically period of time, and therefore we have used for it. The other example could be the kids will have been sleeping since 10 p.m. Yeah, 10 p.m. in the night. Since 10 p.m. because 10 p.m. again 8 a.m. 1997 February, any specific point of time, for that we always use since. So the kids will have been sleeping since 8 p.m. मतलब बच्चे रात्रि 10 बजे सो चुके सो रहे हैं रात्रि 10 बजे से सो रहे होंगे. द किड्स विल हैव बीन स्लीपिंग सिंस 10 p.m. मतलब बच्चे रात्रि 10 बजे से सो रहे होंगे. दे विल हैव बीन स्टडीइंग दिस बुक फॉर 3 hours. मतलब वे 3 घंटे से इस किताब को पढ़ रहे होंगे. I will have been talking to you for past 20 minutes. मैं आपसे पिछले 20 मिनट से बात कर रहा हूँगा. And so on. Let us move on towards the example of negative sentence. It means future perfect continuous tense and negative sentence. So As I did mention, the rule will be subject plus will not have been plus first form of the verb plus ing plus ins of for plus time. Therefore, the example could be she will not have been working in this factory since 30 November. वह 30 नवंबर से इस फैक्ट्री में काम नहीं कर रही होगी. Or they will not have been working in this factory since 30th November. 30th November is a point of time. So वह 30 नवंबर से इस फैक्ट्री में काम नहीं कर रही होगी. या they will not have been working in this office since July. मतलब वे इस कार्यालय में 30 जुलाई से काम नहीं कर रहे होंगे. We will not have been talking to each other for past 4 hours. मतलब हम पिछले 4 घंटों से बात नहीं कर रहे होंगे या आपस में बात नहीं कर रहे होंगे. The company will not have been advertising jobs for 2 years. We will not have been playing football for 3 days. हम 3 दिनों से फुटबॉल नहीं खेल रहे होंगे. And so on. Talking about the interrogative, so again it will be will plus subject plus have been plus first form of the verb plus ing plus insert for plus time. If we pick up some examples, so the Bill have been using a new computer since Monday. Bill he have been using a new computer since Monday. क्या वह सोमवार से नया कंप्यूटर यूज कर रहा होगा? Will he have not been using a new computer since Monday? क्या वह सोमवार से नया कंप्यूटर यूज नहीं कर रहा होगा? Will they have been taking the medicine for few days? क्या वे कुछ दिनों से मेडिसिन्स या दवाइयां ले रहे होंगे? Will they have not been taking medicines for 5 days? क्या वे 5 दिनों से दवाइयां नहीं ले रहे होंगे? Will she have been teaching the students since 8 a.m.? क्या वह सुबह 9 बजे से बच्चों को पढ़ा रही होगी? And will she have not been teaching the students since 8 a.m.? क्या वह सुबह 9 बजे से बच्चों को नहीं पढ़ा रही होगी? And so on. So, I believe that you have understood the tenses, all its sentences, rules, and you also have been able to practice and make the translations from yourself so that you be able to communicate and use them in your daily life. So, with that note, I would request you that if there are any segment which have been left out or which you have not understood well, please share the feedback or write that into the comment section. I will try to cover those tenses once again and clear your doubts. Once the tense is completed, we will move on to the next segment of the communication skills and we will begin the new topic from here on. Thank you so much and have a great time ahead.